offer would be, I would be willing to go after your target, regardless of if it were my target, as long as it were not Alyssa.
Yeah.
And if that were to be something that you were interested in, you can't play next week. So that gives me the ability to potentially help you get your target out.
Okay.
But if your target's me, then I really have nothing else to say, because I just think I go home, you go home shortly. I stay, we together get farther and fight it out when we're both getting a significantly higher paycheck.
Alright, 2 questions then. If you can share anything, any details around what Kylan said would be very helpful for me.
Okay.
And then, what was my second question? You were mentioning, what length of time do you think we could feasibly set up for like a ceasefire? So right now, after this week, let's say SB leaves, we're at 11.
You're creating a few enemies. If you keep me here, we're able to repair whatever we have. You don't create an enemy, I think, except for one person. And that one person is my target.
Okay, so what does that person say?
Kylan?
Yeah.
This was when we had our one-on-one. And now, this was when I'm HOH as well. I asked him, when, or within the world flesh, who would be someone that you would, or feel the least comfortable with? And he says he thought that you were sneaky. However, this is why at HOH. This is after week 1, not directly after week 1, but week
Close
1 where we're already coming after each other.
Yeah.
He may have just been telling me what I wanted to hear, what he thought I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Understand?
This was when he was HOH?
When I was HOH.
Oh, you were HOH, so that was week 3.
That was last week.
Oh!
Week 4.
Oh, yeah, it was
Which is why I was so surprised, because you guys have a decent relationship.
Yeah.
I'm never seen it tell him that's a big thing.
You think I'm gonna tell him?
You can't tell him.
Well, I can't tell him, because if I told him, then it's like, then it does create friction between us.
Right. So, when we're on one-on-one, he said, I asked him, within the royal flesh. I think I asked you the same thing, didn't I? Within the royal flesh, who are you least comfortable with?
I just don't know if you asked me that. I don't know.
We had another one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, he mentioned you. He said because he thought you were sneaky. He did not mention the comp wins, but I think that's something that he doesn't have to mention because it's obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that was his one thing he went off of. You being sneaky. I think people see you and Hannah working together. So, maybe he feels that you guys were close, but how you feel he is with SB, maybe he feels you with Hannah. Maybe that's where the sneakiness comes from. But everyone has their person in this house. You know what I mean? And in the event that everyone does have their person, which I fully believe, we need to take out the person that I think would come from me as well as you.
Alright, so how long would you think for a ceasefire?
It needs to be, like I said, a believable timeline. 5 was too long.
Yeah.
I would like assuming everything goes how we want it, or everything goes as it's impossible to plan out. But say I were to win and didn't take the shot at you, I think we could spin that to. I could potentially say, I don't think you actually wanted me out last week. I think people were in your ear. That would save us. That would save the suspicion of us working together.
Okay.
So that's at least one other week. That next week I can't compete. So in the event that you compete again, with the narrative that I created, that you could agree to it, especially if he goes home. You could agree yeah, Kylan was in my ear. Or even if Espy was in your ear, you could say Espy was in your ear because she's gone. You could blame it on someone who can't defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 weeks that we have justification of we're not going to go after each other because it was someone in our ear.
Mm-hmm.
We can't use that narrative forever.